Breathing in love and breathing out love to you all. I'm sending greetings from Verona. Yeah, it's one of my sabbatical stops. It's quite amazing to travel alone. You know, it's really good that the narcissist came along in the life. You know, first you feel ashamed that you let someone into your life and into your bed and into everything, like into your soul, and you make promises and commitments, even though they are boundary crossing all the time, that you wouldn't do with anyone else, and you just feel ashamed. But it's quite good that they came into our lives because they open up a bigger wound. The bigger wound is what happened in childhood. If you let a narcissist in, most probably you had narcissistic parents. So that means the intention that they set out when they made love to make you wasn't the intention of creating someone they want to nurture. It was like for my mom, it was more the goal just to, I think, keep my father around. And this intention stays with you. It's a karmic relationship. And I do believe right now, in my healing process, that the narcissist came my way because I already had good antennas when I met him that it won't work. It can't work because I live on a different sphere of connectedness with my heart. And I do believe that us empaths, we really literally want to help them. And as a symbiose, they give us this fake strength, this what we always wanted to hear all our lives. They give us these words and these behaviors, and that we get this illusion of finally we have made it. And as soon as we get behind what has happened, and we are so shocked, we should be grateful for it, as awkward as it sounds. Although it takes a while to understand this, and not being in the rapid emotional state where you are just shocked what you just did, that you left a narcissist, they open up a wound that you should heal, which you never looked at. You never thought you could walk through life on your own little feet. I'm doing now travels as a woman that are amazing. I would love to do it as a main job, just to create journeys for women, just to dance around Verona where I am right now, and how I planned it and how everything. It's just like running with butter. And the narcissist always traveled with me and always gave me the impression that without him nothing would work. And that I set out and went on my journeys alone. After all the turmoil and the leaving and the breakup, just opened up a new horizon. You get so many new memories. You're sitting at rivers and castles and night and day and eating, and everything is good. They open up a wound that if you really take that chance, if you really take that wound, the most basic need that you needed as a child, and you give it to yourself, I think that's the most precious gift you can give yourself. So if you remember the beginning of the relationship, I mean, the narcissist never genuinely falls in love with you. They hunt you down. They I don't know why, but you never get an answer to a why question. But they hunt you down, and just remember all the things that you fell in love with, like every trait that they were always mirroring. Whatever I said was mirrored. Like it was as if I found my soulmate, and I was so mesmerized that I was always waiting for years, always to hear again and again and again this fairy tale words that came out of his mouth. And if you run the whole thing back and you want to heal that wound, go back to where you were a child and you wanted to hear all of this. You were standing somewhere and you couldn't believe that you were not getting it. I was never hugged. I never heard into that direction something sweetly coming my way. Um, and the narcissists, all of them, I don't know why it's like the same program for all of them, and they run this system of exactly telling you what you want. And the only thing that healed me was when I noticed that I had to tell myself this all the time. When I'm on my journeys, when I'm sitting at home, when if you are in a fear-based situation where you think about your future, it's really this little child, as I don't know where it is with you, but maybe with me it was around 4 to 6, where I just couldn't believe that the world that I was put in was the way it was. Like I made my world always a happy place, but I couldn't believe that the others couldn't connect to that. And we as empaths, we want the narcissist. Like, I think we are even trying to act out what we did as a child, to get our parents to listen to us. We are acting out as an adult with our partners, like, don't you see that I can live in balance? Don't you want to live in balance? And it's so exhausting to try to get someone to grasp, first of all, to grasp who you are, because if they're not connected with their own hearts, it's quite hard for them to to reach a level of balance. They're not balanced. They have so many lives running that it keeps them so occupied, and you get exhausted. You get so burnt out, exhausted of trying to bring someone over a bridge to where you are. So just remember that the intention of your mother is the intention you will have in your life. And in our days, we are all, nearly all, made by accident. It's like, whoops, I'm pregnant. Whoa, okay. You know, we don't sit down. I have nearly never have heard of this, but someone sits down and says, tonight we should make a baby, you know, like, and how do you think about it? It's really more like, whoops, I am. And I think in the 70s it was even, totally different. So the intention, my mom even told me her intentions, and they're not pure. I mean, we all don't have pure thoughts, I know that, but the problem starts somewhere already at the beginning, and that one you have to solve. The narcissist just comes along like in a game where you roll the dice and then suddenly you have to deal with it. There was suddenly no turning back. I let him into my life, and I had to get him out of the life again, because this is not how a human being should be encountered with. Then it's better to be alone. So if the narcissist would always be to your satisfaction until you die, you will always just be, like, if you see the ocean, the surface of the ocean, and you want to find yourself, you will always just be like nearly drowning upstairs. It's just like you're swimming and that's it. But the narcissist gives you suddenly a push where you have to really go deep into the water, watch the narcissist from downstairs, and find your traumas and your ways of being in life. And the more you sink down, the more you can feel where you are coming from as a woman and as a soul. So they give you the initiative to first, we think we're drowning, but if you really think about it, and they're giving you even the entry ticket, if you know how and where to go, to a level of self-satisfaction, not narcissistic. It's a real self-satisfied love that you can find. Takes time. You have to give yourself time. You also have to decide. Otherwise, everything just stays in a bubble-based, on the top surface kind of drowning situation. But as soon as you let go and you really sink and you have the faith that nothing will happen to you, that even more positive things will happen to you, yeah, I think that's an entry ticket that you wouldn't get if everything just goes always rubber smoothly, because normally you do have a trauma to heal. If emotionally neglected, even though you feel that you're giving the world everything, and your partner and your children and everyone, you're giving that love. But you yourself, if you really think about it, your children and your partner and your parents are not giving you what you need. So as I say, always like a little hush puppy in the dog shop waiting for the owner. Really give it to yourself. What would you need right now? If you need encouraging sentences, give them to yourself. Tell yourself, Romy, everything will be good. That is so empowering. Romy, every journey that you do, you're going to do it very smooth. You're going to look everything up. Sometimes you're going to be spontaneous. You're not fearful. I walked yesterday through Verona by night, and it was, again, the most intimate experience I had again with myself. And why do we have these fear-based feelings if we can feel happiness? It's your decision. It's your decision if you want to go deeper into healing. So we are all living in communities. If it's really just your partner at the moment, which was with mine too, then this is my community, then that is my society that I'm living in. And you have to watch whom you give your heart to. You have to watch if you can give yourself everything that you would need from your partner by yourself, then you're on a good path. If you're every evening waiting to discuss everything, if you're waiting every movement you make that the other will reflect it, you will always be totally dependent on the other. If you can give it to yourself, I think by nature and by the law of attraction, you will attract someone who builds up a society with you that is, like people do bird watching. I do word watching. Then someone will come into your life, but you have to cut off the old stuff to let something new in. And the in-between phase is all up to you. It's your self-healing. If you can get off from your job and do a sabbatical, do it. If you can't do it in the free time you have, then maybe it takes longer. But try to do something with yourself to eliminate the core reason of why we invited a narcissist into our life, which other people wouldn't even bother to communicate with. Take your life back into your hands, because the narcissist doesn't care about you at all. It is fake. It is because they don't even care about themselves. I don't know if you've ever seen that your partner has really connected to their hearts, and isn't that the most important need of this world? That you are always one step ahead if you are with someone, to always see if that person is all right with how this society between them and the communication works. And they don't care, and you're used to this because you're used to not having your needs met. So you know that you're with a narcissist, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. And we can't help them. All we can do is help ourselves and see that this entry ticket that they give us, that you make the most of it, because that's why we are here. What's good that we encountered the narcissist is that we have felt an emptiness that we wouldn't have felt without them. This emptiness that they feel hurts because they neglect you. They neglect you. They neglect even themselves. That's why they are always, like, I feel like my cup is always overflowing, very naturally, very, very relaxed, harmonic. It's always overflowing, and everyone every single day can take whatever is overflowing. But my purifying water that is always running has nothing to do with the outer world. And with a narcissist, I have the feeling that they are always at the pump station of their water system. That all I saw was that someone was always out of breath and always pumping a pump, which I always think if you are digging for water and you dig at the wrong spot where you always have to pump, all your life you will be having to pump that water pump. And I believe to optimize everything, so if you just take this water pump and put it to a different destination where water always naturally flows, like in a wadi in the Oman, in these oases, you won't be so exhausted in pumping up this empty cup all the time. And the narcissist is like as if they are suffocating, as if they are drowning, to reach an overflowing cup. And I do believe that everyone who was or is with a narcissist has it already and just doesn't see it. It's like looking into the mirror, but only seeing it in the loving being, the loving wife and partner of someone else. You have it in yourself. You just have to see it. Go into the mirror and really tell yourself what you just realize that you can never satisfy a narcissist. That is the most interesting realization I had. The only thing is I know how to fill up my cup all the time, and it should be a privilege of a partner who can just sit with me, and privilege in a way of that they can take from that all the time. And for me, it's a privilege to also be with someone whose cup is also overflowing, and then you suddenly can even you can create rivers, which you can't with a narcissist because he bleeds you dry with his emotions. And with someone whose cup is full, and my cup is full, with the healing process also even fuller. I've never been so energetic. Yeah, I want to create flowers and fruits and rivers with someone, and not always go from one oasis to the other and future faking and whatnot. So just remember, you can never satisfy them. So I just wanted to put this out because it's such a interesting, most important topic, because we all encounter narcissists. So I hope you have a nice day today. It's not as sunny as yesterday, so but all is good. So have a nice day and really think about what your needs are. Breathing in love and breathing out love to you all.